Teen Sports listeners. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. We welcome you all to join us
every single Tuesday
at 9 a.m. right after the news. This is a whole hour of Santa Barbara teen athletes and all the people and all those wonderful businesses that support those athletes. Get your hands together for Santa Barbara. Woo! You know, we've got a great house here today. I've got a long-time buddy. I'm going to look at him right now. All right, Jimmy Crook. All right. So funny. I got to tell the story about him. I wanted, after my divorce, and he was like one of those guys, because Erica has not, respected me and said that, this is just a period in your life and you're going to come back. And my ex and I are best friends, so that no drama there. But I always knew, because he owns Milpas Motors, that I'm going to find the car that I want one day and I'm just going to point and shoot. I'm going to call up Jimmy and I'm going to tell him what I want and he's going to bring it to me. So I was at Cafe del Sol and I saw this cool elderly couple, and it's kind of like what you would wish after being 40, 50 years married, and the guy goes around the car and he opens the door for his beautiful wife, and they were probably in their 70s, and they were looking at the sun coming down, and I was looking at them, and I'm just at the restaurant looking at it. I'm like, oh my God. I said to my friend, because I was doing okay then, I'm like, I looked at the car and I said, I'm buying that car tomorrow, and I still have it, and I got the bird, baby. And it was that Merlot. So I called Jimmy right there and I said, look, I am looking at him. He goes, I don't know. He was doing a Sal Rodriguez. He couldn't speak, right? And he goes, he ended a fight because there was, of course, only two of them, right? And they had the one, I got the other one. You got it for me, Jimmy Crook. How you doing? I'm going to get you a mic. I'm so sorry.
Thank you very much. Excuse my voice there.
That's okay.
Anyway, go ahead.
Try oil of oregano. That'll knock it out. So Jimmy
more like Quaker State.
Yeah, president of United Boys and Girls Club. And I just want to I usually go around the house, but we don't have a lot of guests today. We don't have a lot of co-hosts today. It's like, holidays. So we just want to keep it short and sweet. So United Boys and Girls Club, president, you've actually done everything at that club. You're anywhere. Anytime I go to the club, you're there. Do you not work?
Yes, I work.
Just checking.
2 jobs.
That's 2 jobs. You got to sell the car. How do you like that gift from Teen Sports Radio? We got a nice Lincoln we brought over to you.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you
like
very
that?
much. I love that. Thank you.
Thank you, Walter Barros. Okay, that's in memory of his wife, Brenda Barros, and who I loved very, very dearly. And Walter, thank you very much for that wonderful donation. He wanted the money to stay in CARP, and you came over and you picked up the car, and the money went to CARP. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. It's a service we do for the Boys and Girls Club, or quite frankly, any foundation. If you have an old car, truck, boat, whatever, motorcycle, house, just
there you go.
$1 million.
There you go.
We'll take it all.
There you go.
And get you a nice little tax deduction, and it goes to help many, many, many future citizens of Santa Barbara County, or the world, actually.
Yeah. A lot of people don't realize the exact how many kids the United Boys and Girls Club services. How many kids we got in there now, Jim?
We're roughly 7,500.
Yeah?
Yes.
Fantastic. Now, I know you brought a guest, but I want to get to my co-host real quick. But Thank you. Put your hands together for Jim Crook. All right, I'm looking right at him. Look, he's all smiling. I know you're going to give us the thought of the week, okay?
All right.
We got Dr. Scott Noble. How you doing, Doc?
I'm doing great. How you doing, Erica?
Doing fantastic.
Fantastic.
Yeah?
All right. Well, my thought of the day is congruence.
Ooh.
And
he does these words I can't spell. I know, like congruence. And then I can't even look it up because I can't spell it. So, but we have another here, Doctor. She's May Chandler. She's
I haven't even heard of it.
I know. She's going to write it down for me. She always does. She writes stuff down. She passes it to me. Okay,
Great.
Let's talk about congruence.
Well, one of the things that I'm interested in is energy efficiency. We all have a limited amount of energy that we need to do a lot of things with. So if we're congruent with our environment and ourselves, we get a lot more out of that energy, more with less, so to speak. And so to illustrate this, I'd like to tell a little story about somebody who knew Gandhi quite well. He was actually part of the English military before they left India. He was asked, why was Gandhi so effective at his mission to liberate India from the English control? And his response was great. It said, most people think one thing, feel one thing, believe another, and act a fourth way. And in this way, we've got a lot of internal contradictions in ourselves, and we waste a lot of energy. He said, Gandhi believed what he thought and did what he said he was going to do. Everything was consistent with him. So he was able to turn on a dime, change his philosophy, change his plans, and nobody could catch him because he was completely congruent with what he did.
I like that.
And if we could all manage to find a way to not contradict ourselves and really figure out what we want and what we believe and speak accordingly and act accordingly, we'd get a lot more done with a lot less energy.
I just tell everybody, get out of my way.
Well,
no?
But the reason that works for you, Erica, is because you're 100% there.
Yeah.
And if you said that, like, hey, get out of my way, would people respond the same way?
No,
I didn't think so.
Now they just move.
Yeah, you just think it's strong enough.
Exactly. I read my eyes. I say
they see you coming.
They said my boys especially just read my eyes. I don't even have to yell. Everybody wants to know why my kids are so well behaved because I said I hit them when they were kids. You can't say that now, but I did. If they were bad, like we get a little smack. It's a tap. It's stronger than tap. Enough that they know not to do it again. But I didn't beat them. But it's truth. It's just I set boundaries.
Yeah.
That's all it is. And now I just look at them. It's perfect.
Well, neurologically, there's a yes/no for kids, and a lot of times adults get really abstract with needing to explain everything to this poor kid that doesn't even have the capacity to understand them yet.
Right.
And it creates a lot of dissonance between kids and their parents. But sometimes even it doesn't have to be a smack, but a clear raising of a voice or something sends a very clear signal,
right,
as opposed to explaining everything for somebody who doesn't have the mental faculties yet in their developmental cycle to really get it.
Right.
And so
that's true.
That's another reason why your method might have worked.
Thank you so much for clearing that up for me.
Just adding to your ideas.
Nice. You're a dad. You'll see.
Yeah,
especially boys.
It's on.
We don't have this time out. What? We don't have this conversation.
Yeah,
I can have a conversation with a 5-year-old. Are you joking?
Yeah, how do you tell your 19-month-year-old to not rake your face with his, claws? It's like, all right,
cute.
A little firm.
He's such a little cutie patootie.
He's adorable. It's ridiculous.
Melt away. All right, put your hands together for Dr. Noble. May Chandler.
Hello.
Woo!
How's it going?
I'm doing good. And now she's gone. So
I'm gone. Changes and more changes.
Hey, listen, if you want to start your practice with some supplies, I do have 2 boots in my...
Oh, good. Yes. Yeah, there we go. I might need to take those back.
Because I was moving things around. It was funny because those are so big. And I moved one box and all of a sudden, it's tumbling.
There it comes.
That hurts.
Right
when
into your
that boot
noggin.
lands on you, okay, let me tell you something, it hurts. I'm just telling you. But I would like to donate those boots. Because one, I still have the plastic on the one.
Really?
Yes.
Okay,
I think we should donate it to a kid.
Well, I usually take them to Haiti Relief.
No, let's leave them in Santa Barbara.
Let's leave them in Santa Barbara.
Yeah, let's leave it. If a kid,
donate them,
10, if they're size 10 and it's a kid and they don't have a lot and they need a boot.
Yeah,
right?
Definitely.
Can you recycle?
Well, I don't know. Because I don't know if you can,
There's one has a plastic on it.
Or,
you can't legally?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're on your own now. You don't have to follow all the rules, do you?
Right?
That was a joke!
Some of them.
I know. Open the doors, close the doors.
I'll ask my attorney husband, may I use these boots?
Yeah, I like your answer.
I don't know. I don't do that kind of law.
I love that. So
that's his answer to everything.
I know, it's awesome. Who wins all arguments?
Me, of course.
Do you?
Of course.
Oh,
yeah.
That's so cool. He just surrenders.
He does.
He knows better.
Right away.
Okay. I get you.
He doesn't even bat an eye.
Yeah?
He's like, I know, you're right. You're right.
Trained. I like that. Look at Jimmy's like, yeah, that's right. Fantastic. I'm going to shoot over to Dr. Noble. Who'd you bring today?
I brought Jesse Brisendine.
Wow.
Brisendine, excuse me. And he is, should I announce him at this point?
We're going to take a break.
Okay, let's take a break.
We've got that. And Jimmy, you brought somebody as well. You brought the new CEO from United Boys and Girls Club.
Right, Michael Baker.
Michael Baker. All right, so we got a full house today. So let's take a little break on that. This is Erica Salda. It's go time. The Queen of Teen will be back with more after these messages. We are back. and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday
at 9 a.m. right after the news. We got so much to talk about, so let's start off. We've got the president here, Jim Crook, Milpas Motors owner, done everything you can imagine. I've seen him with a mop. Okay, I've seen him do dishes. He does everything. He barbecues. You do everything. You're like, what have not you done? No, I'm not going to stop talking about you. It's not, it's not about him. It's about you, Jim Crook. Okay, the man who got me the most amazing car. That car, I just want you to know, is going to follow my hearse. Okay, one of my daughter-in-laws, is going to fight over it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have him flip a coin behind my hearse, and then winner takes the car. It's only got 22,000 miles on it.
Great.
I love that car, Jimmy.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You want to introduce your guest for me?
This is Michael Baker, 26 years with the Boys and Girls Club.
Woo! Michael Baker, put your hands together. I know he's all red. You used to radio?
Okay.
No,
it's good.
No? I wanted you to be a co-host, no?
No,
you don't want to do that? You just
maybe.
All right. So talk about yourself.
Well, I'm very happy to be in Santa Barbara. Looking forward to the opportunity to run the Boys and Girls Club organization here in Santa Barbara, United Boys and Girls Clubs. I've been doing this a long time. As Jim mentioned, been doing this 26 years, and originally started in Albany, New York, where I'm from. And went to New Jersey for about 4 years, all with Boys and Girls. I've never had another full-time job. I don't know what I'm going to do when I grow up. So
same shirt?
Same shirt,
right.
pretty much. Yeah, pretty much the same shirt. Absolutely. Absolutely. And then went to New Jersey for about 4 years, and then Washington State for 8 years, and been in Anaheim for the last 14 and a half years. So,
nice.
And Santa Barbara's the next chapter. So really looking forward to it.
So you started off, you said you've been Boys Club your whole life. So were you a Boys Club kid? Is that how it started? And then you just volunteered and kind of just moved up? Like a Sal Rodriguez kind of thing, no?
No, actually, we didn't have a Boys and Girls Club in my hometown where I grew up, just outside of Albany. We didn't have a Boys and Girls Club. But when I was in college, we had a community service opportunity. You get 3 college credits if you volunteered at a nonprofit organization for 72 hours in a semester. And I did that at the Albany Boys and Girls Club. And the second I walked in, I knew that's what I was going to do the rest of my life. I knew it. It was a great gig. I walked in and said, I remember seeing the program director leading a group of kids into the gymnasium. He had a clipboard in his hand, a whistle around his neck. He's wearing a staff shirt and jeans and sneakers. And I thought, this guy's got the greatest job in the world. I definitely want to do what this guy's doing. And that was 26 years ago, and I haven't looked back. And it's been the most rewarding job. Well, it's only full-time job I've ever had. So, yeah, it's definitely been the most rewarding.
I'll never forget. I was a member of the Girls Club in Arkansas. I grew up in Arkansas. And from 2nd grade to 6th grade, I played basketball very, very poorly, but I also was on the drill team, okay? So the Girls Club had basketball and drill team. So you would see me not really on the court too much during the game because I was on the sidelines because really bad at basketball. But then I would quick change, right, to drill team, which would then perform at the halftime. Aww. And then quick change again.
Back in uniform.
There I was back in my uniform.
Funny.
That's awesome.
So I'll never forget, but I was going to junior high in Arkansas, junior high 7th through 9th grade. And my mom was like, now, Lindsay May, because I was a ballerina. And she was like, you're going to have to make a decision between basketball and ballet. And I was like, oh my goodness, I don't know if I ever can decide. And she's like, I really hope you decide the right one. And when I came out and said, okay, I think I'm going to choose ballet, my mom was like, thank goodness. She told me the story. She was like, if you were even going to choose basketball, I was really worried.
That's a great story.
Yeah.
That's because I wasn't your coach. No, I'm just going.
Exactly. But yes, I would be doing pirouettes on this side of the court, and everybody else on the 2 teams would be on the other side of the court.
So what kind of opportunities do you think that this creates for kids? I mean, it's such an amazing resource, and where do you think people go, through the club to?
We've had well over 150 years of history in Boys and Girls Clubs. We've got so many success stories of people that have grown up in the clubs and gone on to great things. We have future leaders walking in our club every single day.
That's a great way to say it.
Oh yeah, no, there's no doubt. And what really separates us from a lot of the other youth service organizations, and they all do great work. They're all needed. is that we are intentional about going out of our way to find kids that need our services the most.
All right.
The kids that really need a safe place to go without a Boys and Girls Club or a YMCA or whatever other youth service organization, the chances of going down the wrong path are much higher. Mm-hmm. So our staff, and my history has always been that we are going to be relentless when it comes to reaching those kids and getting them in our buildings. Mm-hmm. And people like Jimmy and board members that help make that happen in the community, giving us the resources to reach those kids is what it's all about. It's a great
fantastic
partnership. It was a saving grace for me, for a lot of moms, whether you're, couples or single parenting. It's hard today. It's not like I don't think it was in the 50s and 60s. I mean, it takes the two incomes, and stress seems to be a lot higher, and it's beautiful to have a nice, like you say, safe and comfortable environment, because it takes the edge off the parent that they can go to work and perform at the highest that they can, because they know their kids are safe. So, and to keep them busy and whatnot. So, we got the little smushy sign here from Dr. D. That means it's a go time. But we're going to get to more and that and more after these messages. This is Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Stay tuned for more. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show, and I am your host, Erica Salda. Please tune in every single Tuesday at 9 a.m. right after the news. Okay, we've got Michael Baker. Today is the 23rd of December, so we've got a week pretty much. And I know you're not really, officially going to hit you over the head with a bottle of champagne, but so it's nice to have a week early. If you want to, there's a few people that listen to this show. We got over 1 million hits a couple of weeks ago. So, if you want to put out an ask, a plea, as a retirement planner, and I am really pushing it myself personally. I can't, I don't know where the money's going to go, but Teen Sports Radio is dedicated to gifting. That's what we try to do. We try to put fundraising, and I use the word fundraising, okay? And that's what we like to do. And we have a great package. Anybody donating any money at all to United Boys and Girls Club, we gift business ads. And we have United Boys and Girls Club linked to our site. So anybody that wants to write a check, our business ads are highly trafficked because our site gets the hits. And there isn't any business on there that have not seen the benefits of being on the site. So again, we'd love to offer any and all services like that from the radio station to United Boys and Girls Club. You just have to put it out there that you want to donate $100+ to you. We also have commercials available. And for a business owner like myself, and we've got Dr. Chandler here is going to be got her own two legs. It's nice. It's expensive for businesses to put their name out there. Sure. And this is a very inexpensive way because we're not charging anything. We're just asking for a donation to any nonprofit that's linked to our site. And of course, since you're here, we're going to push United. But
I appreciate that.
Yeah, you got it.
I appreciate that very much. Yeah, and it is that time of year, and 2 days away from Christmas. People are excited and thankful for a lot of things. They'll be with their family, and we. This is the time of year where people are thinking about what can I do at the end of the year, what kind of gift can I make for tax purposes, because once December 31 rolls around, January 1 rolls around, it's too late to make that gift for the past year. So I'm asking everybody that's listening to consider supporting the Boys and Girls Clubs.
So
we're doing.
To do numbers, because I happen to do that for a living, what does it cost for one child to go to the Boys Club for a month? What is the
Well, we don't have a monthly fee.
Okay, but
we have an annual fee.
Okay.
And I believe that's $25 now. Is it 40? It's $40 at the United Boys and Girls Club for a child to go Monday through Friday for the whole year. There's no additional fee for them to come in.
Okay, that's what you charge is $40.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
So that would kind of be like the bronze level, okay?
Right.
And for $40, okay, I think Teen Sports Radio could afford, let's see, let me calculate this out. A T-shirt, okay, and a business ad. So all you got to do is write a check for $40 to United Boys and Girls Club and put in a little memo, Teen Sports Radio, so they can give me a copy of that check so I could send a T-shirt, okay, and then we could get you over to our web designer if you want to get a business ad. Okay, so let's go up because, some people have more than $40.
What it actually costs the Boys and Girls Clubs United Boys and Girls Club of Santa Barbara for a child to come to the club for an entire year.
Yeah.
It costs us $750.
$750. We took a big jump.
Yeah, that's a big jump.
Let me explain something.
The 40
we got to go slow here. We don't go 40 to 750.
Well,
let's try to something. Okay, so that would be the cost. That's
the actual cost to us for a child to come to the club every day, participate in the activities. What it costs them is $40.
Okay.
But our real hard costs are $750 for that child to come.
So pretty much, well, I think that maybe we should just have two. We'll have the platinum, where that's a $750, and then the bronze, which is not, because the way I look at it is if you have 100 people do the $40.
Yep.
That's not a bad thing. I mean, we had Dr. May over here. She was on the show, I don't know how many weeks when she first started, and she raises $5,500 for the, was it arthritis walk?
Arthritis.
Yes! And she donates it. She all talking big. She did it. Give me some 5 right here. That was so good. You did so good. Did you win, too?
Well, last night we had the arthritis walk, or the Arthritis Foundation Christmas dinner to kind of recognize everyone.
Did you get a plaque?
Well, I didn't, but I got recognized twice just by my name, which was really exciting.
Oh.
Team Chandler.
Team Chandler. I know that. It was, and of course, Teen Sports Radio did the hoodies. Okay, well, I got to do the hoodies. So we got that bridge between $40 and we got $750. So if I see any checks and you put Teen Sports Radio in the thing, I promise you, Teen Sports Radio is going to recognize that person who does that. So whether it be a business ad or a T-shirt, I give you my word, we will do something. So that's most definitely. What else? What kind of things now? You said you have these. You're reaching out to these kids to bring them to the club. So I know I see buses. So you have a lot of transportation available, correct? Do we need more transportation?
We can always use more transportation. Again, it's the organization's budget is $3.5 million annually for us to do what we do at all the club sites that we have and serve the kids. And we have lofty goals. For me, as I've always said, and everywhere I've ever been, I think it's amazing that we're not open on Saturdays. I mean, that's a day that kids are out of school all day, and they need structured activities. So a major goal for me is for us to raise enough money that we can open up on Saturdays to give those kids a safe place. And eventually, I'd love to be open 7 days a week. Saturday and Sunday is just another day to these kids and their parents, especially the kids we're dealing with, that their parents might be working their second or third job on that weekend.
You could see the kids outside the club because I coached there for years and years and years, and you go Saturday or Sunday and the kids are there outside. Yeah. You know what I mean? So we just need support and volunteers just to support inside.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I would imagine also that with as many volunteers that are part of the club, that the actual efficiency of this money getting to helping the kids is rather high compared to other organizations.
I can tell you this for a fact, that the best investment you can make in the community is in the Boys and Girls Club. There's no doubt about it. We stretch the dollar further than anybody, and that's not just the United Boys. That's any Boys and Girls Club. We are great at doing that. We are very, as we tell, kiddingly, I tell people we're a nonprofit organization. We do a great job of not making a profit. We have that down to a science.
Right.
And but we run it like a business. We make sure that we can provide the best services we can at the minimalist amount of cost to the child and the parent. And the reason we can do that is because we have shows like this that help us promote the Boys and Girls Club, and that we can generate the revenue because the community says this is something we need. We need to support this. We need this place for these kids to go to.
That's excellent. So you've rolled into this new Boys and Girls Club recently. Mm-hmm. Take a look at the place. I'm sure you've seen some other ones. How are the facilities? How are they standing up?
You couldn't put Boys and Girls Clubs in better locations than where our clubs are located right now. And we're not just only in Santa Barbara. We have clubs all over. So the club that we have in Santa Barbara, as I was talking to staff today, if I had the ability to come and create a Boys and Girls Club anywhere in Santa Barbara, it would be right where that club is located.
Great.
Perfectly located. Yeah, it's our West Side Club, and I'm just really excited that the opportunity and looking at all the facilities that we have just is great staff that are working with these kids. I want to give a special shout out, if I could, to our staff at the Goleta Club, newer staff, relatively brand new staff. We had a staff party the other night, and I can tell you, wow, talk about energy! I felt like I was back in Albany again. My first day on the job, and they're just fired up. They were so excited about working with kids. I'm like, how could you not want to support this? I mean, this is the future. I mean, they're dedicated to working with these kids, and every one of them could go somewhere else and make a lot more money, but they're not in it for that. They're in it to make a difference, and that's what it's all about.
And you obviously think about the kids going there and having this exposure to sports and things, but I got to point out they've got the exposure to all these volunteers, which with all that altruism floating around them, probably a pretty good example.
Absolutely.
So,
we never turn anybody away.
Great.
That's another unique aspect of Boys and Girls Clubs. Doesn't matter where you come from, what you look like, what you believe in, what you don't believe in. You can come to the Boys and Girls Club.
How many places are like that?
Not too many.
No.
Well, listen, I know you've got to go. You've got another event to go to here. We got Michael Baker in the house, and I am so happy, that we are going to be here or you can count on our support at Teen Sports Radio.
Thank you.
Anything that you need, call. Okay, because we're here, and I really mean it. And I told Jim this too. And you're going to be hooking up with Dr. D here. We're donating a commercial to United Boys and Girls Club. Woo! Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure. Is that okay, Dr. D? I had to ask permission. I felt. Could you feel the moment? Were you feeling it? It's Christmas. Thank you, Dr. D. Because he's not charging.
Sure, that's great.
It's very expensive.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's give it to Dr. D right here. All right, in the spirit of Christmas, we're going to take a break and go to our sponsors. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show, and I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in every single Tuesday at 9 a.m. right after the news? Nose. Right after my nose, okay? We're going to know that. And we're going to leave all that in, okay? I'm looking at Dr. Noble. Look at his face. He's so happy because he brought a guest, and he's excited.
I've got a great guest here today. In addition to all the things I'm about to tell you, he's just an upstanding fellow and great guy. Jesse Brisendine is an international recognized life coach, personal trainer, speaker, and educator. He's the founder of the 1 Year 1000 Challenge and the author of the book, Ouch, My Heart is Broken, a Heartbreak Survival Guide. Don't we all need that from time to time? Jesse has worked with thousands of people around the world, including Fortune 500 businesses, leaders, Hollywood celebrities, entrepreneurs, and musicians. He's assisted in building and sustaining successful businesses, relationships, and people's thriving, healthy lives. So
wow,
let's give it
put
up
your
for
hands
Jesse.
together. Woo!
Thank you.
Nice. He's been so quiet over there. I'm really getting jacked.
He's been firing it up.
I feel it now.
I've been waiting for my moment.
Yeah, no, it's you're in now. Okay, it's your shot. So he's kind of. I don't know if this is the right thing to say. So he's like an Anthony Robbins kind of guy.
I've been actually talking to some friends and calling him the young Anthony Robbins.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
so.
All right, Jesse. So talk about yourself.
Yeah, Anthony Robbins is kind of the Michael Jordan of my field, and I like to look at myself as one of those guys, maybe playing for Kentucky, that is a talented guy, aspiring, not quite ready for the Michael Jordan level, but I always have the Michael Jordan level on my sights, and it gives me a good goal to work towards in what I do in my day-to-day life.
Okay, fine.
There we
So somebody gets a hold of you, and what? They're in a slump, or how's it work?
It depends. My day is very fun and full of variety, and so I might have somebody who's in a slump. I might have somebody who is making an insane amount of money and they want to make more so they can do things like pursue more charitable endeavors like the Boys and Girls Club or something. And I'll get a lot of relationships. I get a lot of people who have that feeling that they're meant for something more here, but they just don't know where it is and they need help discovering what that is and guidance to find that direction of getting to where they want to go.
So you teach them the tools. You give them tools.
Yeah, a lot of tools, a lot of strategies. I'm try to simplify things for them. A lot of times we think life is so complicated, and it's really not that complicated. And we humans in our infinite wisdom have become experts at making the simple very complex. And so I try to re-engineer things for them and simplify what really should be simple.
Well, I think there's a great quote out there that the simplest answer is usually the best one. Mm-hmm. There's a lot less that's lost in translation. It tends to be easier to apply, so that's fantastic. Something we talked about a little bit before the show here is the power of perspective. Absolutely. And I'd like to just kind of let you run with that as far as where does perspective play into how we achieve or don't achieve in life.
Yeah, there's a great story about perspective, and I'll condense it down really quickly. Is two guys are walking down the street, and they're wearing the identical suit, everything, and the bus drives by, and it splashes mud all over them. The one guy gets angry and upset, and he walks through the rest of the day, and he says how his day's ruined because the bus splashed mud all over him. He goes home to his wife that night. They don't talk. They argue. He just wants to go to bed and forget the day. The other guy, the bus splashes mud all over him. He stops. He takes a deep breath, and he looks up, and he looks around, and he touches himself, and he realizes he's still alive, because if he would have been off that step a quarter of a second faster, the bus would have killed him. Mm. And so he uses that as a sign to live that day the best he absolutely can, because he realizes how close he came to death that day and what a precious gift life is. And so he uses that same experience to go through the day and make it better. He goes to work and interacts and has an amazing time with his employees. He goes home and has one of the best conversations and nights with his wife ever. He goes to sleep at night just being thankful and grateful for the life he has. And I think that's the power of perspective, is two people can have the same experience, but how you choose to interpret it and walk away from it is going to dictate your life going forward.
That's fantastic. I think that as people, we have things that come up like getting splashed with mud, and it's so easy to write off the day. Like, by noon you've already decided, this is a lousy day. I just can't wait for it to be over. Mm-hmm. And if you flip that around, like you just said, then eyes are open. There's all these possibilities, all this just things that might happen. That if you've got your head down, convinced already that it's a bad day, where are you going to go from there? So what's really possible is a pretty subjective experience. And can you talk about possibilities and where that stands in your philosophy? Yeah,
one of the things I talk with groups a lot about is possibility and what's possible. And my question to them when anybody asks me what's possible is, what do you want to be possible? Earlier, we had Michael from the Boys and Girls Club talking about one of his goals is to extend hours so it's available on Saturday and Sunday. So there's an example of possibility, right? It's stretching what's already happening and making something more happen. Mm. A lot of times people don't allow themselves to see beyond what they perceive as what is, because they don't even stop to wonder what's possible. Erica was mentioning earlier about getting her car from Millpost Motors and about how that happened because she put the possibility out there of getting this kind of car. And if she calls and makes it happen, look how quickly it happened. She said she got the car within, I think, 2 days or something like that.
Right.
And so possibility is only ever going to be limited by our scope of vision of what's possible. And so often we limit that because we think that it's just not.
I remember reading this book called Art and Physics, and it makes a great case for how artists tend to be the foreshadowing of all great scientific discoveries. And it's almost like they bring it into the field of consciousness and say, hey, this is possible. And then the scientists get on the question and then actually make it happen. So it seems like that's about what you're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. Just look at radio right now. 100 years ago, this was the idea that people could sit around a room and broadcast it all over the world. That wouldn't even have been possible. Now, this is just a normal thing, right?
Right.
Possibility shifts with time as we become more open to things.
It's kind of like, for me, I don't want to say daydreaming, because I try to stay in the present. But like with that whole car thing, I saw it. You know what I mean? So it's just being in a place and space where you can manifest anything that you want. It's just like you say. I just use it visually. And it's so funny because I'm very auditory, but when I want something, I see it, and it's not even there. And then I figure, well, I must have to have it. I mean, you know what I mean? That's just how I think about things. I do that with property. I do that with anything. And it's the same thing like if I don't want it, and I want to reposition myself. So that's, it's true. And I think that, and I loved what Michael said, trying to do something, because who would to think? I mean, since I've been a part of the Boys Club, there's been things on Saturday, barbecues and stuff like that. But yeah, that's a no-brainer. Why aren't we open on Saturdays? I mean, that should just definitely, and it's a great goal because you need money to make that goal,
reality.
To make it a reality. Exactly. So, I think it's great. Michael, you want to say?
Yeah, I do, actually. I wanted to, coming from Anaheim to here, I mean, you talk about dreams. Walt Disney was the king of all dreams. He had his famous quote, as Jim always reminds me, "You dream it, you can do it." And I thought it was really interesting when we spoke in the hallway at the beginning. I think it's really important to point out too that you're a gaucho. You see Santa Barbara. I said that's pretty awesome. That you're back in the community helping out. That's great. And I wanted to just thank you for what you're doing. And
absolutely.
Just outstanding.
Yeah, Santa Barbara has been very good to me, and it's an amazing place to live, as you're going to see. And I think that there's so much wonderful things that Santa Barbara does, and it provides to all of us who are fortunate enough to live here. And with kids especially, I think it's all of our responsibility to do anything that we can to help in whatever way we can. And with something so positive as the Boys and Girls Club, I think it's a great organization to help and promote and contribute to in whatever way we can.
Well, thank you very much.
Absolutely.
I'd like to point out, part of Jesse's background here is as a personal trainer, and he branched out so that he could have a greater impact on this world, and bringing it back to exercise and our theme here, teen sports. I'd like to just ask you what you think the relationship is between exercise and personal achievement.
Yeah, it's a great question, and I would answer it very simply and say everything. Forbes magazine did a study not too long ago and was talking about the habits that the most successful people in the world do. And amongst universal across was exercising for 30 minutes to 60 minutes a day before 8 a.m. And exercise, people a lot of times they misconstrue exercise and what it is, that you have to have a gym membership, that you have to go in there and you have to lift big weights, or you have to get those cool headbands and leggings. I don't know if they really do that much more, but you get the idea. And you have to go in there and do that, and it's not that at all. It's getting up and just shifting your physiology around. And making that shift in your physiology, your emotions and your thoughts are going to change instantly with it. And just that little shift can make your focus better. It can make your confidence better. And you think if you're going to be more focused, more confident, will you be more successful? Will you achieve at a higher level? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Physiologically, we're talking about exchange of fluids in the body, getting oxygen to where it needs to be, getting oxygen out so it doesn't get stuck and become free radicals. Mm-hmm. It just breaks up the sedentary lifestyle that many of us get stuck in. Even with doing great jobs and things, we end up behind a desk or a computer all the time, and getting moving literally changes the chemistry in our body, changes the way we relate to ourselves, and has a huge effect on our self-image. Yes?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Another thing we talked a little bit about is, what happens for teens after they've gone through a normal sports activities and done a number of years there. What do you think is a good strategy for having those positive habits continue on?
When I was doing personal training, I would say 70% of people who would come to me for personal training assistance would say that I was a teen athlete one time, and then after high school I stopped, and then I gained this, and they'd grab their stomach, or my arm did this, and they'd flap their arms. So teenagers, if you're listening to this now, it does happen. It happens very quickly once school's done and over with. It will happen to you if you're not somebody who starts to make a shift right now. And I think one of the best things kids can do, teenagers can do, or adults for that matter, is making it a habit to do some sort of physical fitness at home. Doing something as simple as 5 minutes, 10 minutes a day, and jumping up and down and doing some push-ups, doing some jumping jacks will immediately shift your energy levels and make you more focused, more productive.
I know right before my boards tests, I used to run up and down the halls of the campus just to get my oxygen and blood flowing.
Well, I'm doing jumping jacks right now, okay, because it's go time.
There you go. Bye-bye.
I know, no, we've got a shorty after this, but we've got sponsors.
All right.
Okay, and they're donating, okay, so we've got to give them their time. This is Erica Salda. We will be back really fast after these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in every single Tuesday at 9 a.m. right after the news. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, the internet, Twitter at SBTSR.com. Very nice. We love that.
My voice is back.
It is good.
Very good voice.
No, it is good. Well, Sloan's not here, and somebody had to do the .com, so I appreciate it. In the house, if you just joined us, we have Jesse Brisendine. We have Michael Baker, the new CEO of United Boys and Girls Club. Put your hands together. Woo! All right, we left off with a question, and we're going to throw it over to Dr. Noble during the break. It was a good question. I forgot it, but I know you're going to ask it.
Well, we were talking a little bit about creating an exercise routine apart from what we do in our teen sports, and creating a foundation for that, so the kids can take it into their lives. Do you have any more to add to that?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be anything that's long and drawn out. It can really be something as simple as a few minutes for once, 2, 3 times a day, and jumping up, doing some jumping jacks, doing some push-ups. And what you'll experience is, if you're sitting right now, stand up. And then if you're standing up, stand up a little taller. And now jump around a little bit. And just that little bit is going to cause your blood flow to increase, more oxygen to go through your body, which is going to make you feel better. It's going to make you feel more confident. It's going to make you feel more focused. And if you want to succeed in any aspect of your life, whether it's your relationship, whether it's your health, whether it's your job, do you think you'll be more successful, being more confident, more focused, more energized?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's things to do with the nervous system, as far as if we stay really still all the times, it's hard for us to actually diffuse a lot of nervous energy. And you can feel that. If you sit still long enough, it's like that anxiety that builds up, that anxiousness in the tissues. You jump up and down and move around, dance for a moment, and it diffuses that. And it just creates possibility for, a whole different outlook.
Absolutely.
So. Nice.
Well, even since I was 2 or 4, one of those ages, I still dance.
Not a girl!
Dance. I did it all through elementary school, junior high, high school, college, and medical school, residency, and now I am 32 years old, and I'm proud to say that I performed in the Nutcracker this year at the Arlington.
Yeah!
Keeping the dream alive.
That's amazing. And look at all the kids that you're, mentoring, which is important. How many kids did you have in the program?
I'm not sure. There had to have at least been, 100 or so.
So when one of those little ones has a really bad owie foot, what do you say?
I say,
do you hit them?
No hitting, no smacking. I tell them it's going to be just fine. Put their point shoes back on.
Oh, that's awesome. And then what happens if you have an owie?
Then I cry and tell my husband that he needs to rub my feet.
Oh, that's so sweet. Go.
It doesn't mean he does it.
No. Okay, that's okay. Oh, way too much information going on right now. It's okay. I have a question for you, Jesse. So tell us your background athletically. Did you play sports in high school, college? So where did all this sports enthusiasm come from?
Yeah, I was actually...
Your dad's name is somebody...
No, it was different. I was the chunky kid when I was younger, and then I hit my growth spurt, and I was the skinny kid. So when I went into high school, I had zero self-confidence, zero self-esteem, and I literally spent most of my high school years with my head hanging down, telling myself in the mirror every day that I was a loser, that I was worthless, that I was a mistake. And I was fortunate enough my first quarter at UCSB that I had this moment where I was in the mirror and I looked at myself and realized that I was literally destroying any hope in my life. And I knew so much for myself was about just how I physically felt about myself. And exercise was one of those things that I'd always thought about. I saw Conan when I was a little kid and was inspired by Arnold, and I started doing it, and it changed my life. It completely changed my life, changed the way I felt about myself, changed my outlook, and shaped the way I viewed the world going forward.
It's funny because I was thinking about Arnold before I said that to you. I didn't even hear it. It's really funny because he's really impacted a lot of kids.
Absolutely.
Really. He didn't really. I don't know. I just feel that it's nice when you look at yourself. So you made a conscious decision one day to I'm changing. I'm making a change.
Yeah.
But what do you remember? Okay, you looked in the mirror, you thought of Conan, and that was just it, like that, or?
It was. I looked in the mirror, I looked at myself, and realized that I was destroying any chance I had of a better life for myself, and I knew that I needed to give myself some structure to be successful with it. So I made rules for myself with exercising. I had to go to the gym for at least an hour a day, 5 days a week. I had to, when it started to get to that point where it burned and I wanted to quit, I had to do 5 more. And I had to eat healthy 80% of the time, and I just followed that. I followed that formula I made for myself, and it was a process, like anything is. But the more I did it, the more it felt natural. The more natural it became, the more routine it became. And then the more routine it became, the more I wanted to do it and looked forward to doing it, as opposed to being something that's kind of like, I have to do this now. And now it's like, yes, I can't wait to do this.
That's amazing. How long to make that habit form? How long does that take, Dr. Noble?
Well,
you got a minute.
That's a good question. Yeah. I think habits, depending on the habit, but what would you say? This is actually probably a little more in your...
For the longest time, it was 21 to 30 days, and I read something not too long ago where whoever there are for this report is saying upwards of 60 days.
Yeah, and it seems like there's different layers to habit in the sense that he's talking about how things get easier, and it's gradation.
Listen, I got to wish everybody a Merry, Merry Christmas because we're out of time. We had Dr. Noble, Dr. May Chandler. We had Jesse Brisendine, Michael Baker, and my buddy Jimmy Crook. Hey, happy holidays. Merry Christmas. God bless you all. See you next week.
Please tune in and join us next Tuesday at KZSB AM 1290 at 9:06 a.m. when we will go behind the scenes with the local students, athletes, coaches, parents, volunteers, and all other teen sports supporters. This is all brought to you by ePro Insurance Agency, leader in gift planning and wealth preservation since 1983. So please follow along and support our student athletes by reading the Santa Barbara News Press, and then join me, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen, Dr. Dugan, my co-host, friends, teens, every week on the Santa Barbara News Press radio station.